Here we are. Right. Now I haven't done a couple of weeks, so there is quite a bit that's actually last on. So let's get into it. The way our sort of tracks. I'm trying to so these are actually leading off to that I've laid in the past. So I'm kind of gradually building a sort of picked everything up. It's slow again, but anyway, I won't go into that because it's not finished, not by a long time. I'm going to make it, I think we're going to have some night time. Why not? We don't work at night very often. So, one of the things that I've noticed about Minecraft, thinking about the problem of illumination, these sea lanterns to illuminate things in a sort of hidden way. So if you look at this causeway here, this bridge, or whatever you want to call it, it's self-illuminated. It has light, and the reason why it has light, whereas it would normally look a lot darker than that at night. The reason why it's illuminated like that is simply because it has a row. It simply has lights under it, which illuminate it on the top. I hadn't really realised that before. I mean, I had realised that, but I hadn't really put it together in terms of using it to try and create a little bit of more self-illumination on some of these larger structures. So if we move along the causeway and head towards the pyramid, I'll show you some of the things that I've done. Come on, pyramid. I am regretting building this thing in a snowy biome, I must say, because it is a pain in the ass. I have kind of solved that problem on the interior of the pyramid to a degree, which I'll show you in a second. So, heading along here, I've been experimenting with some of the redstone mechanics. Actually, I left the door open. Weird. Okay, so we have a button to press here. Let's see what happens when we press it. There we are. So we've got a door. Again, the whole thing's illuminated underneath. Now this, so I've hidden the mechanics, or the mechanism that makes this work, all in here. It's quite. If I show you the other one, I've done another one on the other side of the pyramid, which was the first one I did, which I actually had the. Well, I'll show you in a second. Let's open up the door. So what I wanted a gap like this, and my idea was that you press the button and the door kind of becomes the gap and fills it in so you can cross if you were on foot. That. And then we go in. Now the only trouble is with this way that this works is that there's no button this side to close it. That's not something that I can currently do. So I have to leave it open. But down here, here we are. Right, now here's something that you won't have seen before. The floor. Look at the floor. Whoa, look at that. So this problem of self-illumination has become. It just was something that I was just never going to solve it, because the light in here is so bad that you just can't do anything to make the thing bright or my I joked around with Talia, my daughter, about doing the whole floor in sea lanterns, and and eventually I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to have to do that. So here we are at sort of ground zero, and yeah, it's thousands and thousands of sea lanterns, and the problem with it is, if you look at this central stanchion as a give you an idea, so these lanterns are, you know, illuminating this stanchion, but look, by the time we get here, it's gone. Right, so even with all this brightness, it doesn't extend that far. The sort of ambient light doesn't actually go that far, and you'd have to start illuminating again, you know, to get that. You see? So in order to so even though that looks bright, it's not actually providing a lot of light above this sort of level if you were to build things. So here, I don't know whether this was here before. This is my little, it's become a bit of a sculpture. Anyway, so all this stuff floating here is just debris, relics from taking out all this mass. Okay, so we have some causeways here at this level, and at this side which is a slightly simpler one, and with this one I left the mechanism exposed underneath underneath some glass. It's just so that you could sort of see how it all worked. But if we approach here and push the button, our door retracts into this area here. This is just nothing, doesn't do anything. And then we can go out. Oh, it's bloody snowing again. Crazy. I don't know why I'm surprised that it's snowing in a snow biome, but there you go. So this particular, the way this one's done, because it is, the mechanism is built on the side of right where the door is, unlike the other one. I do have a button on either side, so you can kind of go in, close, you know, from either side and approach it. Now what's actually happening here is the button is connected to a couple of hoppers and a dropper, and then using redstone comparator there and the repeaters there, and then in between you've got all these command blocks here, and the command blocks are set with instructions. So the ones on here are all to do with disappearing the row of blocks. So you'll have a coordinate from here and a coordinate here, and then an upper coordinate where it's going to go to, up here somewhere. And then, as you can see, these are all lit because you've pushed the button once, and that extends this piston. That's an observer there. So what's happening with this really is that when you push the button again, the piston will retract, and the observer will send power down this side of the mechanism to close it all up again. And then these command blocks have the instructions there to sort of rebuild the door. So what's actually happening is a row of blocks that are being cloned into the position up here, and then that row of blocks is then replaced by air, i.e. destroyed, and then basically the reverse happens. So if you push it again, you'll see the power coming down here, and there we are, it's moved back. Now the rows of blocks aren't actually moving. They're not actually sort of moving. It's sort of giving the illusion of movement just from the fact that they're being cloned from here to here, and then removed from the starting point, and then the same on the way back. You know, boom, 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 like that. It's very cool. I learned how to do this. Me and Talia studied it actually. Talia has in one of her worlds, she has a little area where she tests the little. She likes building little secret bases, little secret rooms, and she's kind of YouTubed all these different ways of doing it, and it's really clever actually. Some of the things she's done, and this was my sort of contribution to that process was this idea of building a garage door. So the first one we built in her little world was a sort of straight up and down sort of 6-block garage door, and it worked really well, and we got it going, and so I repeated the process but with a bigger door. And it occurred to me that the things can be any size you like. You know, it really doesn't. There's no practical limit. I could have made this, you know, really wide. It would work exactly the same way, and the number of rows you have here really sort of are determined by the number of rows of blocks that you want to move. So in this case, you know, it's 5. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So each one of these is kind of dealing with each row of blocks. And obviously this sticky piston here, once it gets power, it operates and moves the observer out of the way, so that the power doesn't immediately run back down this way, and you get, you know, a 2-stage process. So that's that one. And then we can obviously step outside and push button, and there we go. So there's that. It's very cool. I can't believe how much snow. There's so much crazy amount of snow that's fallen. Ugh. Just destroy my pyramid. Yeah, why not? On this. Oh, it's only doing the audio. What a pain. Come on. Right, that's better. Okay. So on the outside, around the perimeter, we do have some progress. Oh, snow, bugger off. This causeway here, by the way, is sort of heading this way. It goes through my little, or over my little bed chamber thing that I built yonks ago, and keeps on going. And we're actually out of the snow biome, and I guess I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this ultimately. It seems a bit of a anticlimax to get to the end of it, and you know, and there be not really anything there. I put a little bit of art. I might put a little secret thing behind here. One of Talia's little secret techniques that she came up with was to do with walking through paintings and having stuff behind it, and Pyramid Road, as of course it is. No Star Wars quotes this time. Yeah, so it you know, it just leads to this marker point. Now I can't remember whether I've connected this one up. I don't think I have. No, it didn't look like it. So most of these markers are now connected. This one obviously isn't, but most of them now are connected to a sort of nexus. But I haven't got around to doing this one. This one's a little bit far out in some ways, but that's okay. So let's get down again, head back to the pyramid. I mean, ultimately, I'd like something significant at the end of that. Same with on the other side. You know, the causeway where we entered, when we first came across. That tower there is really just a sort of, you know, a slightly fancy, but not that fancy. Oh, there it is, the old abandoned Star Destroyer. Come on. In terms of the perimeter excavations, it is so sort of, it's not boring, but it is very time consuming to do it. So I've done quite a bit since I was last on. I haven't really bothered with any of the facing stone yet on this. As you can see, it's all just how it comes out. There's a ton of block work to do. While I'm talking, I might as well just do these little... Now, I did initially think I would do like a really enormous door of some sort, which is kind of why I left this gap, but I'm not going to do that now. I think I might still do something like that, but I've still got that huge gap there on the other side there to figure out. I could do that there if I wanted to. Might as well just fill this one in. And there's still quite a lot of land to excavate. If we head round this side, there's my little villager household, and there's my son's little puppy sculpture. And so we're kind of clear all the way around here. Yeah, and then we get to here and it all goes to Crapola. So this all needs excavating. And it's quite a sizable chunk that still needs to come out. Yeah, as you can see, it's up to, this is as far as I got last time I was doing it. Excuse me. I have marked out the parameters, or perimeter I should say. So this little here and then here. So these are our XY coordinates, so I've got to get rid of all this water, which is always a pain. But I've got a sort of technique with the sand. I don't know. So I've got my jebs here, my little sheep, which I'm going to save. I've already sort of separated their little pasture, paddock or whatever you want to call it, their pen from the rest of it, so I can now kind of pull this away gradually. Now what happened, I've actually ballsed up the coordinates when I was taking this stuff out here, when I was taking all this earth out, and so I hit the go button at one point, and then and realised I'd taken out the side of my Jeb's, my little rainbow sheep's little pasture, and had to quickly sort of bung a couple of lines sand in there so that they wouldn't all escape. Bless them. And yeah, so what I thought I might do with this is sort of extend it once I'm kind of finished taking all the earth away. Just taking this, all this has got to go. So it's still quite a bit. It's very time consuming to do it because this is a lot of blocks, and with a 32,000 block limit on each operation, it sounds like a lot, but they add up real quick, and it actually takes quite a bit of work to do. But once they are all nicely, I just noticed the cat snoring. Well, yeah, once it's all gone, I might extend this. I might kind of bring it out into more into the interior of the pyramid, and create something a bit bigger with more animals in. Why not? Hello, Jebs. I never feed them, and they're alright. It's weird. Anyway, so this is really the only chunk that's still to be taken out, and there's obviously a ton of... The pyramid extends down to here. There's actually some... obviously a lot of work to do in terms of facing stones, you know, the sandstone or whatever I'm going to do with it. It's another village here. There's people in it. And then it's just thinking about obviously all that block work. There's a ton of block work here that's going to have to be done. I have actually tried to find a way to do it automatically in some way. It hasn't really worked. Well, it hasn't worked at all, so I've had to do it manually. But as you can see here, look, you see we've done this. Yeah, you have these lines, and you see this sea lantern here is extending its light, and but by here it's gone. You know, this is why you have to just have hundreds of them, well, thousands of them. Yeah, my floating village is still here. I just can't bring myself to destroy it. It's silly, I know, but there is at least one guy who sort of lives here. And I can't bring myself to destroy his home. It's so silly, isn't it? I can't remember which house he's in, but he's in one of them. I rescued his crops by putting these lanterns here, which melted the water. Although they need harvesting now, don't they? But anyway, yeah. So I'm fairly. I think I'm probably just going to keep this, and I'll just have it floating. I might tidy it up a little bit, because this is all kind of just the interior as it was exposed by the rest of the excavation work. I do want to make something more of the interior of the pyramid, but again, it's that illumination situation that you have going on, where everything has to be illuminated. Otherwise, you're just in a sort of a very dark space all the time, except for those little pools of light. See, Joe said I should have made the whole thing out of sea lanterns. I was like, yeah, well, let's see how dark it is over here. Look, it's just crazy. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Although I didn't think it would have looked very nice, to be honest. But yeah, and I'm all about the aesthetics. I wanted it to look nice. I'm gonna build some more stuff. You know, I might put a door on here. I quite like the oh, snow, go away. I quite like the aesthetic of this one. You know, when I initially built the mechanism, it was out to one side again, sort of like a reversed version of the other one that's exposed. And basically, I just didn't like the way it looked, and I thought, well, there must be a way that I could just alter the design slightly, so that I can tuck it under here, and then you've obviously got a sort of slightly fatter section of bridge, but it really isn't. It's quite unobtrusive, really. And obviously, if you're approaching from this angle, you can't see it at all. So I was kind of into that, and it so I figured out a way, and it worked. There we are. Yeah, the snow on the pyramid. It's become sort of really thick. I mean, I try and stop the snow with a command, every time it happens while I'm playing the game, but it's just annoying. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. So, what else has happened recently? Well, not much really. I've been walking a lot. Trying to lose a bit of weight. I think it's working. I've got a lot to lose though. So I'm going to perhaps let's go and fill that. Let's go and fill that. I feel like I've done something if I fill that gap over here in. Block work. It's tiresome, but there you go. When I'm doing it, I kind of just zen out and think about other things. But, it's kind of therapeutic in a way. Yeah, I've been very impressed with Tali's little inventions that she's done, or not inventions, but she's looked them up on YouTube or whatever, and kind of figured out, followed the instructions on how to build these things, and she's got some really clever secret entrances. which seems to be the thing that sort of tickles her fancy. You know, she likes doing these things where you have to, like, you might have a cauldron or something. You know, you might have a sort of a building, and there's a cauldron out the front, and no obvious way to enter the building. And the secret to doing it is to throw something into the cauldron. I can't remember what you have to throw into it, and it's like a specific thing. It's not even like anything. You have to throw a specific ingredient, whatever, into the cauldron, and when you do, a little trap door opens, and you can jump into the secret chamber. I mean, it's really, really clever. You know, I was impressed with her. In fact, it was really nice for me, as someone who doesn't do the. I'm not really interested in survival mode and kind of, you know, just mining and, you know, forging things and kind of, you know. I mean, I get it, but I'm obviously not particularly taken with that way of doing things, because I spend so much time in creative and, you know, building stupid things like this. But I was quite pleased that Tali sort of decided to, you know, she felt like doing a few things that were more along the lines of what I do, you know, which is sort of nice to see her. She has another little world. It's called Bamboo World, and she's built these giant panda bears, these giant pandas, which are dwellings, you know. So they're really big scale. She's got two of them, like a mummy panda with a baby. And the baby, she built the baby first, and then the mummy panda's much, like, you know, twice, 3 times as big. And it's all made out of white and black wool. And she's built these pandas with sort of rooms inside them, and it's very much along the lines of these large structures, you know, that I've kind of been obsessing about. And she did it all off her own back. You know, it wasn't anything to do with me encouraging her that way. It's really cool. I mean, you know, I don't know. Hector's my sons are, like, Hector and Otto are kind of, you know, they're really into, especially Hector. Hector's really into this whole Herobrine thing. You know, so he's kind of into sort of like scary side, you know, this sort of weird, mysterious side of Minecraft. And you know, it's all about sort of fighting Endermen and killing the Ender Dragon, and, you know, and just sort of mobs and all this kind of stuff. You know, the two boys are very into that kind of thing, and not really into building and being creative. I kind of try not to feel disappointed, because they are just being who they are, and, you know, they're but as someone who grew up, you know, playing with Lego a lot, and building and creating stuff from my mind, you know, because that's how we used to do the Lego stuff. You didn't have instructions on what to build, you just build what you wanted to build. And but as someone who, you know, spent the childhood doing that, and drawing endlessly and creating, you know, various illustrations and characters, and I mean, you know, as someone who did a lot of that stuff, I feel like I would really love to see the two boys do zombie village and kill the zombies and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's like, okay, I mean, I don't have any interest in any of that, and but what I do like, I think with Hector, and Otto actually, but what I do like with what they're doing is the whole kind of forging stuff and kind of knowing the recipes, how to kind of how to make a crossbow. You need sticks and you need metal ore and you need string and you put it in this machine and I do admire Hector in particular for being able to kind of he's committed a lot of this stuff to memory. He knows how to do an awful lot of things in Minecraft. Just in his head, in terms of, oh yeah, this is how you do this. But I do wish he would do more creative things in terms of his building and not be obsessed all the time with sort of hunting and killing and all that stuff. I mean, I suppose it's just I mean, I don't know. Is it? I don't necessarily like to kind of think that the stereotypical definitions or whatever of boys and girls, but I guess stereotypes exist for a reason. It's obviously wrong to deny that some people do conform to those stereotypes. Whether you think that's right or wrong, it is the way it is. And my children have not been encouraged to conform to stereotypes. Joe and I are not that are not sort of like that. So we don't have an environment where those stereotypes are reinforced particularly, and yet Talia always seems to be a little bit more stereotypically feminine, in terms of her. She's a much gentler person, character, and what she wants to do in Minecraft doesn't really revolve around hunting and killing and doing all that stuff, whereas the boys obviously are into all that. They like the mystery and the stuff of this whole Herobrine thing, which, if you don't know what Herobrine is, then don't worry. It's I had to look it up too, and it's this mysterious character that appears apparently in it's a sort of ghostly character with white eyes that you can find sometimes, and there's no, it's just one of these. It's almost like a Minecraft myth, It's gone down in Minecraft lore as this Herobrine thing. And the boys are so much more interested in stuff like that than they are in just building stuff and kind of and even not even the stuff I do, but the kind of things I do, but even the stuff that Tali's been doing. So like these kind of crazy mechanisms and stuff. Hector's like well impressed with her and everything. He's really impressed that she's done them, but he doesn't seem to have much of a sort of desire to do anything along the same lines. Maybe he will, but I suppose the boys are just being boys. But that just sounds like like it just sounds so old-fashioned, and I guess, like I said, stereotypes do exists for a reason. You know, there is a reason why these things exist as, you know, I think I might go and excavate. It's been a couple of weeks, and while I have done quite a bit, I think it might be quite good while I'm on to do another bit of it. Not this bit though. Or is it this bit? Yeah, it is this bit. I forgot where I was for a minute there. Yeah, so let's get rid of this bloody stuff here. Okay. Right, coordinates time. / fill. $91.95. Okay, and we'll syntax error. Yes, I know. So then we'll head over to, I don't know, I guess over here somewhere. Now this is a bit of a monstrously annoying area right here. I guess maybe I'll go here. Yeah. Okay, let's go here. Let's see what happens. Tilde, tilde, tilde. And error. Alright. 3,000. Okay. Alright. Let's keep going. Let's see what happens here. Now I haven't changed the starting coordinates yet, so I'm just kind of seeing how far we can go on that single set. Oh, no, what am I doing? Right, too many. Okay, so let's drop that to 45, or actually to 40. Oh, we've got this weird little... Okay. That didn't quite work. That's better. Alright, let's drop it. Yep. Okay. So let's get rid of... what am I doing? Oh, God. Right. That's better. Almost a catastrophe there. Okay, so where are we at? 35. Alright. 31. Ooh. Nice. 16,000. Still not getting near 26. Let's see how far we can go. See if we can get this down. If we put this at 25. See if that's too many. Yeah, it's too many. Okay, let's go up a level. Still too many. Up another level. 2 levels. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Go back down there again. Take this down to 20. Yep. There we go. Got some water here, but that's alright. It's not too bad. We can stem that fairly easily. Yeah, let's do it. Ooh. The water's not, yeah, it's not a massive problem. You can deal with it, you can just let it, you know, whatever. But, I find that it is easier to deal with it as you go rather than just leave it to the end. Pins though, I suppose each situation's different. So let's, sometimes it works to do it like that. Oh, lava. I really don't like lava. Lava is a pain in the ass. I mean, again, I don't really need to deal with it. If I don't want to, just leave it. But I just don't like leaving it. I like to just stop it, you know, get the flow stemmed, so that it's not just bloody all over me blooming stuff. What do we got? Okay, let's go back to the corner and take the rest of this out. Alright. Flipping lava. Go away. I'm using the sand, by the way, because it drops. So I could use sand or gravel, but I use the sand because it drops, so you can just place it and then it'll drop into the lowest block that needs filling. It's just kind of handy, especially with lava because you can't see, so it's just handy. Alright, so I'm going to do the floor. Trying to remember. If I do it, yeah, if I do it all sea lanterns first, I think that is how it's going to work. Go down to level 0. Make sure that says 0. Alright. Oh, hang on. I didn't do that right, did I? Sea lantern. There we are. Okay, so now that's all sea lanterns, and obviously I want this little section here to be quartz. So all we need to do is just get on this line here. Blop. Get down into here and do the same, but with quartz. Quartz block. I think it's 3. There we are. So there we are. That's that section done. You know, it's pretty quick, you know, considering. You know, it's not slow. It's just that when you scale up to, you know, how much ground needs removing, it does seem like a lot. Oh, rain. Go away. Let's go up here. So, let's see what we have left to do. Okay, so we got to take out all this up to here. Well, I could always make a start on that before I sign off. Let's try it. You see how you can, this angle here really shows you how much of my pyramid blockwork is missing. You know, that's crazy. It's like, well, all this has got to be filled in. Well, I'm going to do a lot of that, I think, offline, if you so to speak, not on the live stream. Oh my goodness. Oh, good. Well, I saw earlier that someone was watching, and I got distracted because something went wrong. I think the signal went and it was just audio. But I always think of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when someone's on watching the live stream. I always think of Prosteknik Vogon Jeltz. Hello, wherever you are. Right, so what is changing? Right, so that one's changing. So, okay, so 92.43. No. Change that back to air. And 92.43, 57.07, and what's the height? It's about 70, I think, isn't it? Let's try 70. In fact, but while I do that, let's just get rid of that for the minute, so that we get syntax error. Okay. Yeah, 70, good guess. It's like I've done it before. Okay, now I could be greedy and choose a point over here somewhere. Where my trench somewhere. It's hard to know where you are. Okay, let's do it in line with this cut here, more or less. Yeah, let's do it in line here. Of course, there's a load of water in the way, but that's okay. We can work our way back. This is going to be tricky. Now we just need to work this line back until we intersect with our trench. There it is. Okay, this is our spot right here. Stick a lantern up so it's a bit brighter. Alright. Yes, I know you've melted now, haven't you? Silly thing. Okay. Goodness sake. Alright. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. So here's our intersection. We did it 70. Let's try 68. Let's see what happens. Let's do our tildes. Bosh. Tilde space, tilde space, tilde space. And air. See what happens. Bloof. Ooh, hello. Right. Obviously that's going to leave a load of flipping trees disconnected and lost. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be carnage. This is going to be total carnage, but well, we can't help that, can we really? So let's actually, that's what we'll do. We'll go up a bit, get rid of some of these. We'll start at 70. and we'll change that to say 75. That should get rid of some of that trees. Yep. And then we'll do it up to 75, 74 then, because and we'll do that, change that to 80. And do it one more time, maybe. Too many blocks. Alright. Alright. So that's still left a bunch. Yeah. I usually knock these out manually. In fact, those are gone. They're not real. Yeah, I didn't think so. Just the brains was taking a while to remove them. Okay. So that's starting. Okay, let's try and get some downward. Okay. Let's move that back to 70. Oh, there's the water. Alright there, and it's gonna go it's gonna go everywhere. It's gonna go everywhere, especially when this bit happens. Now what I could do is fill this with sand. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what happens, really. Come on, let's just stem that one. So I've got a clean working area. Okay, we're level at 65. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's start here. Let's see what happens. 65. Bosh. Water. Yeah, so we're gonna get some. We're gonna get some pretty sizable water towers here as we remove the earth. These things are gonna just start being created. So let's do another one, see what happens. 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oof. Yeah, you see what I mean? So these great big towers. So this is obviously a spawn point for the water here. Now there are several ways to deal with these. One of them is to, literally just kind of find the middle, go up to the top, and it breaks the spawn point. This is kind of time consuming, however. So one of the things that I have been doing to try and make this process a bit easier is to repeat the last operation. And instead of air, we put sand. And into place, into gaps, so it always drops into whatever gaps it can. See, it's dropped into that bottom there. So what I can do now is do it. No, piss off, Snow. Excuse my language. What I can do now is do that operation again. 65, let's say. Oh. Yeah. So, if this seems counterintuitive, it isn't. So actually what's happening, this water is now diminishing because it's had its spawn point cut off by the sand. So it should, most likely will make its way all the way down to the bottom, unless other spawn points are in existence somewhere along the line, and in which case it will create a tower or whatever, just, and if you get down to the bottom here, you'll see down the bottom is where all the sand from this section has dropped to. All the stuff that I piled on, it just drops into the chasm. So what's happened is this area here obviously meant that there was a little bit of a hole that the sand's dropped into, and therefore it's kind of collapsed at the top here. Same with that on a bigger scale. And it just kind of deals with the water problem. As you can see, the sand's now cut this whole thing off. But what I need to do to ensure that that stays like that is to move along one row. Otherwise I'll just take that barrier down again. So let's change it back to air, and it takes a while to react. Of course the sand all drops, so it's quite a lot for the brain of the thing to think about. Right, so as you can see, the level of sand has actually, it's still doing it. Look. Yeah, has dropped. I don't know what's going to happen over here. Again, we've got a little bit of a issue, but this is a much smaller gap to fill. We can fill it. So that once the sand that I've dropped here is taken away, this area will stay what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Right, let us do another one. And so where are we at here? 65 down to 60. Alright, so let's go from here. There we are. I find this technique. Yeah, it is a little time consuming, but it does deal with that water situation. Now you can see the water now has dropped. There weren't any more spawn points. It's dropped all the way down and gone. And this is the sand that got dumped on top of it all and fell down. So we should be fairly dry. This wall is in place, and we can now start digging down again. So 60. And the water issue should be dealt with, at least on the grand scale of it. I'm going to go 6. 55. Here we are. Yep. Oh, we had a funny noise then. One of those sort of slightly spooky noises. I don't know why I'm hoovering all these up, because I'm in creative, so it's like I don't need the sound. Right, well, let's carry on. Get this down to 0, and I'll call it a night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try 7. See if we can get 7 in one hit. Too many. Let's try. Yes. Alright, so 7 works. I don't think 8 will, though. It's an old mine that I've uncovered here. Okay, we're at 35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And boom. How's it looking? Looking pretty good. Okay. Cool, that's quite a big one. Abandoned mine. Lots of stuff to explore there if you're in survival. Anyway, focus, Ben, focus. Hector gets very excited about mines. 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Water. Yeah, wow, loads of. That's a big one. That's an extensive one of these little mines system. I actually love that one. If you're looking for chests and things in there, there's some goodies in. Right, 21. Right, come on. Let's do it. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. going to get the lava. Though not much of it, which is good. Okay. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. There we are. Let's go. Brilliant. And no lava. Excellent. Probably because of the mine. Okay. Get down to naught again. Do our sea lanterns again. And then we can call it a night. Okay. We will. Quartz. There we are. Okay. Well, that's some pretty good work. I like that. That's good. I might as well, while I'm here, and I like to set the pyramid perimeter out. It seems like such a tiny stretch, you know. It doesn't seem like very much that you've taken away. And in the great scheme of things, I guess it isn't. But you just gotta keep chipping away at it. And you know, it comes together eventually. And starts to take shape. Now I should read. When I come to do the facing stone, you know, when I come to make these all this stuff look nice, that's a chore as well. I tell you, that really is a chore. Especially with all the sort of rugged tops there that you got to kind of try and deal with. But that's for another day. Alright, so we've done good there. That's our... This is our measurement here. So we will be going all the way along here. I think I did cut the trench fairly... Yeah, all the way along. Yeah, so it's this chunk here still to remove. And then we'll at least be joined up with where I started this whole process, which was here. And yeah, it's all good. It's this little hole here. Hello, hole. What are you doing? Alright. Oh, in we go. Yeah, obviously the interior stuff as well. It's got to go. But yeah, so here we are. There we are. There it is. This is what I've been doing. Oh, why are we missing a bit of... Okay. Now I'm going to also eventually make these causeways. Yeah, I'm going to make exits for all of them, and we'll have them leading somewhere rather than just to nothing like we do at the moment. On this level, obviously only this one leads anywhere significant, and that's not actually that significant. No, it's not this one, is it? Or is it? Where's this one go? Oh, just over to here. Yeah, it doesn't lead anywhere at all. Look, there's the end. So it's just a kind of holding, it's like, okay, well, at some point I will make something of that. And then the other, this is obviously the one with the door. Mechanism on show. Snow. That's the very, very handy thing, by the way, of having changed the floor, which was a mammoth task, by the way, although I did do it quicker than you perhaps might think, but it was a huge task to change all that, because it was all quartz pillar blocks. But one of the good things about the sea lanterns is that they generate heat, which means that when any snow falls on them, it melts. So when we do get, there's this weird phenomenon that happens in here where we get snow actually falling inside the pyramid, and I don't really know why it does that. I mean, obviously we get the clouds coming through, and therefore it can snow, I guess. But it doesn't do it in a general way. It's really localized. So when it happens, it only really happens in one little spot, which doesn't seem to make any sense if it's just because the clouds are inside the pyramid. You just thought it would be, and if that's the only thing that matters, then we thought it would be snowing all the time. But anyway, so yep, let's close that. Boof. And then we can head to let's go around to the other one, make sure it's closed. Obviously got slightly disorientated of where we actually are. There it is. Yeah, it's closed. Good. Alright, well, it's been fun. I am still very enthused by this project, but as you can see, I have kind of done a few things like this to sort of change up what I'm doing. So if we say goodbye to the pyramid and run along. So this left turn here, this little mini section, what these are doing, I've built a few of these. They are essentially leading to the the marker towers that I was building to mark out where I was. So yeah, so here we are. So this is a marker. You can see another one over there, and if this ever renders in, you can see we're at one of my monoliths here. And there's another one over there, and there's another one. And what I wanted to do was kind of join everything up to the pyramid road. Or not the pyramid road, but the road here. Well, I suppose it's still a pyramid road, but it's just the other one. To join everything up to the causeway that led to my little door there that I showed you, bridge door. It's quite the task. So this one's beyond the tower, as you can see, and then as we go further, we've got another one here. I haven't done the extra block work on this. These are just the sea lanterns. So there's there. These are obviously getting gradually closer, and then the next one is the other side of it here. So it's very close, and it keeps going. Now, I don't really know what the point of this is all going to turn out to be. And one thing that was perplexing is that these markers, they just run out, and I'm sort of struggling to remember why that is. So there's this one, and then another one here. Now I think with this one oh no, I've carried it on. Okay. So there's a village down there. That's interesting. Yeah. So there's another one at the end of that one, another one at the end of that one. But I think eventually the markers stop, and I'm not altogether sure why that is at this stage, because it's been so long. But it could be because it could have been because what essentially is the last one, it was actually the first when I built it. So maybe I was lost, and I just thought, okay, I'm going to build a thing here and then work my way. God, it takes so long to render. Ugh. Anyway, there's not much to see here, but this is kind of, this is my road to the pyramid, basically. So I guess I just wanted to not get lost again, because I've done so much, so many sort of things, built stuff, and that I actually have no idea how to get back to. The first pyramids that I built, I don't know where they are. I have no idea how to get to them. If you want to see the all the really big 2001 style monoliths that I built, and the swimming pools and all the stuff that I did before I got into doing this pyramid stuff, I actually, before I knew that you could broadcast your gameplay like this, I did a fly through where I just videoed it on my phone. So it's not very good quality, but it does. I say quality. It's me videoing the TV from my phone. So in that sense, it's not very good quality. I mean, the quality is fine in terms of the actual quality. But it's a fly through all that stuff that I did. So I kind of, flew up and went through everything and down everything and into the various tunnels and all the crazy stuff that I built. And it's a couple of minutes worth. But if you want to check that out, it's on this channel. And it's the only way that I can see some of that stuff, because I don't know how to get to it now. So I will say adieu, and I hope you've enjoyed this crazy pyramid stuff. And next time I check in, I will have done hopefully a load more and have something interesting to show you. Alright, so good night and farewell and all that good stuff.